Have you ever woken up and you had one of those moments, everything is perfect as you're in bed, you're sitting there, the blankets are perfectly on, just contoured to your body, the temperature is like exactly the right equilibrium between hot and cold, you know, maybe it's raining outside, you don't have to go anywhere that day, you got the day off so you can sleep in. Well, that did not happen to me. However, I did have another bizarre dream, another wacky addition to the menagerie of the mess in here. So basically, alright, in this dream, there were auditions for a movie that was coming into where I was living, alright? So I go into this big tent, and James Cameron is there, alright? Except he's not, actually. It's this other actor. Um, but in the dream, that's who it is. All right, and for some reason, he's just being a complete dickhead. All right, in the dream, James Cameron is. I don't know the guy in real life, but in the dream, he was like. So what happened is he'd call up a person to do something up at the front of this tent area, and he'd address them by going like, "Hey, asshole," and then he'd call them up to the front and just let into them, just rip them to pieces. I don't even think anyone was actually auditioning for anything. So anyway, after he gets through a couple of these assholes, all right, I get up and I just start walking out, all right. And as I'm leaving, he's like, "Hey, you asshole over there, where are you going?" And I'm just like, "Nope, nope, nah, chief. You know what? Not for me. Acting, it's not my thing, alright? I'm a lot of things, an actor is not one of them. I'm out of there, alright?" So I get back to the house. It's not my house, it's just some house somewhere. Probably broke into it. But anyway, so I get into the house and I happen to discover, much to my own dismay, that there is a gibbon on my back. Yes, a gibbon, all right? Like the monkey. So, um anyway, I don't know why it's there or where it came from, but it had to do with the movie that was being filmed, I guess. It's one of those things where in the dream you just know that, all right? So, for some reason, I'm just okay with this, alright? So I got a gibbon on, like, my shoulders here. The bird, okay, the bird, I got the other videos with the macaw in it, alright? He's in there, except in this dream, he's, like, the size of a parakeet. He's, like, this big, alright? And he's just all pissed off because of the gibbon, alright? And he's just tearing shit up, alright? He's going on to tables and he's throwing stuff off the tables, which he does in real life too. Only difference is he's not the size of a parakeet, so it's a bit more of an issue. But anyway, so I'm sitting at this house with the gibbon and the bird and just keeping it real, just kicking it for a while, and then suddenly not James Cameron comes in with a posse of like a dozen people, and they're like, "All right, listen up, asshole. We're gonna need that gibbon back. All right, for the we need this gibbon here for this cinematic masterpiece. All right." So, um, and I'm like, "Well, all right, you know." I don't actually know what I said. This part of the dream is a little hazy, so I don't know if I wanted to get rid of the gibbon or not. I can't imagine that I'd want to have a gibbon around the house. I don't even know what they eat. I don't even know what it I don't know what they do all day, but the gibbon doesn't want to go with this guy. Probably got called an asshole one too many times, apparently. So, basically, after a bit of a back and forth, an intellectual discussion, a bit of uh, a debate over what to do with this monkey. I think gibbons are monkeys, right? I don't know. Anyway, after a while, the not James Cameron is like, "All right, you know what? I guess you're gonna have to be in the movie because this goddamn gibbon won't get off your back, alright? So, and that's where it ended. I woke up, I was not in that perfect equilibrium, and much to my dismay, I did not have a gibbon. So, otherwise you'd be seeing it probably. But, uh, yeah, yeah. So, gibbons are the way to get into Hollywood, alright? They don't tell you that, all right? They don't tell you that if anyone out there is a prospective actor, you're looking to, break into the movie scene, you're trying to get your big break, all right? Gibbons. The funky gibbons, all right? What even is a gibbon? It's like a primate or something. I don't know. But yeah, so don't be surprised if a gibbon shows up one day. I might be trying to get into Hollywood to pay for college and stuff. So yeah. So make sure if you're getting into Hollywood, gibbons.